I rise to speak to one of the most obvious overreaches of government power in my lifetime, and I believe in modern Canadian history, the recent invocation of the Emergencies Act by the government of Prime Minister Trudeau. Mr. Speaker, I note that the Prime Minister just 90 minutes ago announced that the application of the Emergencies Act has been suspended. That, however, does not change at all the profound concerns of Canadians, of Albertans, of this government, and this Assembly with this unnecessary, unjustified, and disproportionate use of arbitrary police power in our own time with no good reason. And so, Mr. Speaker, we will proceed with this debate, and I can inform the Assembly right at the beginning that Her Majesty's Alberta government intends to proceed with an application for a judicial review about what we regard as the unlawful application of the Emergencies Act before the judiciary, Mr. Speaker. Because while the Act may no longer be in operation, the rights of Canadians and Albertans have been violated. Provincial jurisdiction has been violated, and a dangerous precedent has been created. This, I believe, will go down as perhaps his legacy. Perhaps he'll be remembered, because I don't know what else he's done of merit. This will go down in history as a central mark on his premiership. This will go down as a look at how Canada and his government has been the subject of international ridicule. The same Prime Minister who used to be the toast of the liberal international media is now the laughingstock of the same global media, Madam Speaker, because of this gross and unjustified overreach, this violation of civil rights to deal with a few dozen trucks parked illegally. If this is how he acts to that kind of a situation, imagine how he would react to something like an FLQ crisis. Oh, how about this? I think maybe we have a test case, Madam Speaker, because last week, armed machete-wielding eco-terrorists attacked a group of blue-collar workers and security guards at a Coastal GasLink construction camp, threatened their lives, set the equipment on fire, and literally terrorized those workers, many of whom are Indigenous Canadians. If you go up to those camps, Madam Speaker, you'll see most of the security guards, many of the construction workers are hard-working members of the First Nations. And they were terrorized largely by left-wing, urban, southern, Caucasian eco-terrorists, Madam Speaker. Actual violence, potentially lethal violence. And that happened a week ago, and the Emergencies Act was in effect. I didn't see the Government of Canada springing to freeze the bank accounts of those associated with that act of eco-terrorism, Madam Speaker. And so again, this is a dangerous precedent. This is the partial application of law, not the impartial application. This is a precedent that apparently he's willing to use against a few dozen truckers illegally parked, but not against people wielding machetes, threatening lives, and setting equipment on fire dangerously. So how can he and how will his government ever be able to deal responsibly and credibly with real threats to national security? Madam Speaker, I don't think that government can do so. What a shame that in all of this, the once great New Democrat Party has gone from being a champion of civil liberties to a lapdog for Justin Trudeau and his abuse of power. You know, terrible. They and their NDP friends in Ottawa have have enabled and facilitated this gross power grab. Maybe they've been distracted, the NDP in Alberta, because they've been more focused with their friends in the Alberta Federation of Labour and the Teachers Union on forcing 5-year-olds to wear masks indefinitely. That's their priority right now, Mr. Speaker, not defending civil liberties like the NDP did so courageously in 1970. But this government will defend those liberties, will defend the Constitution, and will go to the Supreme Court using every resource at our disposal to defend the law and order as the basis of our democratic society. Thank you, Madam Speaker.